Nomar Mazara on a 10-game hitting streak will bat third. Rougned Odor in the cleanup spot had a game winner last night. Ryan Rua will bat fifth. Prince Fielder is the DH. He had a game-tying home run. Elvis Andrus is the shortstop batting seventh. Mitch Moreland is at first base. And batting ninth, the catcher, Robinson Chirinos.
And that lineup facing the 29-year-old left-hander Wade Miley. He's a Louisiana native. Pitched his collegiate ball at Southeastern Louisiana University. Rangers have treated Miley a little roughly this year. He has basic to a little above average stuff. Fastball, breaking ball, changeup. He gets a lot of run support, which the Ranger hitters can't do anything about, but they can make it rough on him to be around to enjoy whatever run support that he gets. Jurickson Profar, who had his 13-game hitting streak snapped last night in an 0-for-5, takes ball one. Profar, the switch hitter, steps in hitting at .365 for the year. That's out of play to the right, 1 ball and 1 strike. Rangers come in with a 4-game lead once again. This is exactly where they were when they began this 3-game series, leading the Mariners. Rangers at 38 and 24. 14 games over that 500 mark. And again, that is the high water mark. They're looking to establish a new height here this afternoon in games over 500. 2-1 pitch is low and inside. 3 balls and a strike. So Profar trying to lead off by getting aboard. Ian Desmond, the Rangers center fielder, will follow. And ball, ball 4. I thought Jerry Davis there for a second.
I thought he said strike.
I did too. Well, Profar leading off the ball game by getting aboard. We'll take a look at the Mariner defense that's backing up Wade Miley here this afternoon. Sean O'Malley gets a start in left. Leonis Martin in center. Franklin Gutierrez is in right. Daeho Lee and Robinson Cano on the right side of the infield. Ketel Marte and Kyle Seager on the left with Chris Iannetta back behind the plate here this afternoon. Well, Ian Desmond stepping in. Ian did not have a hit last night. He was 0 for 3, but he had a couple of walks. And as Tom told, he played some great defense in the ballgame last night, contributing in a lot of ways that, for the most part, don't show up in the box score. Right up the middle, look out, low bridge for Wade Miley and Desmond. And that was last night. I'm going to change things here this afternoon. Rangers with their first 2 hitters aboard for Nomar Mazara.
I'm going to change things, and I'm going to do it in a hurry. First pitch hitting. He did a lot of line drives this year, and they've gone to every part of the ballpark. This one's going right back up the middle, right over Miley's head. Well struck line drive. Miley shaved his beard. You might remember him in the first 2 games of the season that he pitched against the Rangers. Shaved his beard and said he made a mechanical change that helps him complete his delivery a little bit better.
Ball 1 to Mazara.
His last start was a very good start. The ones before that weren't so good. The prior 3 starts, he had an ERA of over 11. His last start was a good one. No runs in 7 innings.
Next pitch to Nomar. To right field. Gutierrez making the catch. Profar tagging, bluffing a move to third base, but he'll stay right there. So 1 out on the fly ball to right, and Rougned Odor coming up. Odor, the Ranger hero of last night's ball game, crunched his 10th home run of the year, leading off the 11th inning. Sent one deep into the night, in deepest right center field.
That rookie getting a chance to back cleanup, and he hit that ball like a cleanup hitter last night too. That was not a ball that got a couple of rows deep in the seats. That went way back out in right center field.
He's had 2 home runs since moving into the cleanup spot. He's taking that thing seriously. That was last Thursday when he first came over to the number 4 spot. Takes a strike.
Mike Montgomery, who gave that home run up, had not given up a home run thus far in the season until that one. Said he was trying to get ahead of Ruggie with a fastball, and Ruggie was having none of it.
And those get-ahead fastballs sometimes go a long way. Give them to the wrong guy.
Yep.
1 ball and 1 strike to Odor. Rougned now with 30 runs driven in, hitting at .268. Got Jerks and Profar out there at second. He and Desmond over at first. Rangers trying to get on the board early here this afternoon. This catches the inside corner, a ball and 2 strikes. That home run last night for Odor, part of a 3-hit night. Went 3 for 5 in that ball game. The other 2 were singles. Chop foul. We will try it again at 1-2. Nice afternoon. The clouds trying to break up overhead. Good crowd on hand. There have been between 36 and 37,000 each ball game in the first 2 in this series. 2-2 now. Mariners at home this year averaging about 27,000. Safeco Field with the roof open, a very pleasant venue for Major League Baseball.
I was reading one of the newspaper columnists today, and he mentioned that with the roof, he felt that with the roof open, the ball wouldn't carry as well as it does with the roof closed. I guess we'll find out. But the way the hitters have been pounding the ball the first 2 games, it's carried pretty well. Of course, the balls have been hit extremely well, too.
Odor can't check his swing. He is gone on strikes, and they're 2 gone. He carried pretty well last night with the roof open.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, when you hit the ball like Moreland hit that ball, like Rugi hit the ball last night, and Fielder, it really doesn't make any difference, you know, how the ball carries in a certain park. Those balls are going out of any park.
Yeah.
It's the ones that look like they're popped up and just keep going and end up a row back that are the questionable ones. But most of the balls hit in this series, they were gone the minute they were hit. Ball Desmond hit smashed off the scoreboard in that field.
Sure did.
Dae-Ho Lee hit a couple of long ones. Well, there haven't been anything in the way of questionable home runs. They've all been hit well.
Well, Ryan Rua had a home run on Friday night here. Pops that foul and out of play and finds himself now down in an 0-2 hole. Rua 1 out of 7 in the series. Overall a 283 mark. You see Ryan in the last couple of weeks of play swinging the bat with authority, a 341 mark. Rangers trying to capitalize by getting their first 2 men aboard. Miley a check of the runners, the 0-2 pitch. Looped foul down the right side. We'll try it again at 0-2. Talked about the Rangers against Wade Miley this year. Miley has pitched to an 8.25 ERA in his 2 starts. Given up 11 runs in 12 innings of work. In his career, this is his 6th start against the Rangers. He is just 2-3. His ERA about 5.5. Well, he has not had a whole lot of success holding down the Ranger offense. And again, fought off foul by Rua. Rangers coming into play this afternoon, 3rd in the American League in scoring. They are behind both Boston and Seattle. 293 runs put on the board by the Rangers. They are 5th in on-base percentage, and that number continuing to climb. They're at 321. Batting average as a team in 4th at 266. 1-2. Only area of concern lately for the Rangers has been their fielding. Their fielding percentage now is down right in the middle of the pack. They had been a couple of weeks ago up among the top 2 or 3. There's some rather sloppy games in the last week or 10 days. A ball and 2 strikes to Rua. Marte, the short wave for the out. And that will do it. So the Rangers get a walk and a single, but strand the 2 after a half inning. Rangers nothing, Mariners coming up on Fox Sports Southwest. Lineup. Tom's going to tell you who will face Cole Hamels.
Leadoff hitter will be the shortstop, Ketel Marte. Franklin Gutierrez in right field. He'll bat second. Robinson Cano is third, followed by the DH, Nelly Cruz. Dae-Ho Lee, with 10 home runs and just about 100 at-bats, is the first baseman, batting fifth. Kyle Seager is sixth. Chris Iannetta is the catcher. Leonis Martin bats eighth in center field, and in left field, batting ninth, Sean O'Malley.
And Cole Hamels, the 32-year-old from San Diego, making his 13th start. That ties him with Colby Lewis for tops in the ball club. 5-1 the record, although Cole on a downturn lately is winless in his last 3 starts. That matches the longest winless streak since he's come over to the Texas Rangers. Came over last July at the trade deadline along with Jake Diekman. Line drive by Odor into right field, and Marte leads off with a solid base hit the other way. Take a look at the rest of the Ranger defense. It's delivered to you this afternoon by the New Braunfels Convention and Visitors Bureau. Well, Rua, Desmond, and Mazzaro left, center, and right. You saw Odor at second. He's joined by Mitch Moreland on the right side, Elvis Andrus and Jurickson Profar on the left side of the diamond, with Robinson Chirinos back in there behind the plate this afternoon. So 1 on, nobody out. Here is Franklin Gutierrez. Going to wait for a second. Ketel Marte needed his sliding pad in his hand. Sliding mitt. Yes, it is. Apparently that's got to be a dead giveaway, though. Guy says, "Wait a minute, we can't go any. I've got my sliding mitt on."
Yeah, it seems like the first base coach ought to already have that out there.
Gutierrez takes ball 1. Franklin Gutierrez at .242 for the year. 5 home runs, 15 driven in. He's had good success, as you can see, against Cole. 4 out of 12 with a home run. One ball and 1 strike. Hamels, as we mentioned, with the Rangers, 12-2 in his Texas career. This is his 25th start overall. 2-1. Against Seattle, Hamels making his 8th career start. 4-2 in the previous 7. He has not had a lot of luck here in Safeco, just 1-2 with a .466. They've got him picked off. Orioles throw. They got Marte. You could tell Marte going on first move, and he picked the wrong move. It was 1-3-6 on a caught stealing, and that erases the leadoff base hit.
Well, that's one way to possibly snuff out a rally. Leadoff hitter with a rope to right field and erase him on the bases. Comes in handy to have the left-handed first baseman, and that angle really shows why. When you throw from that side, you can avoid being in the same line with your throw as the runner.
Gutierrez grounds out to Rougned Odor, and there are 2 gone. Yeah, and that's a couple of the throws, like that particular throw, and the throw to second for a double play, starting a double play, really important.
Yeah.
To be able to avoid the runner without taking too long.
Good use of the changeup right there. Had Gutierrez out in front off the end of the bat.
Well, 2 outs, and just like you like to see, Robinson Cano, nobody on base here in the first inning. Cano snapped an 0 for 16 with a base hit last night. He has been struggling of late, but still 18 home runs, 50 runs driven in. Both those marks second to David Ortiz in the American League. Takes ball 1. Cano is 4 for 21 against Hamels. And the Rangers have been able to handle Cano pretty well. Odor, kind of a little lob throw going the other way. That's all that rookie could get on it, and it was plenty. Cano is gone, and so are the Mariners. No runs a hit, nobody left after 1, scoreless at Safeco. in Arlington. Cincinnati is in town on June 21st. And that day, the first 15,000 fans in the ballpark will receive a Rangers yearbook. Yearbook includes player profiles and pictures of each Rangers youth baseball career. Get your tickets for the June 21st game. Just log on to TexasRangers.com or call 972-RANGERS. Prince Fielder, the number 6 hitter. And Jeff Bannister's order leading off here in the top of the second inning. Scoreless ball game. Fielder taking ball 1 to even the count. Prince, that dramatic 9th inning home run last night with 2 outs and a 3-2 count. Rangers trailing by 1. And Prince lofted one deep into the right field seats. No doubter. And for Fielder, that one is the 3rd one that he has hit in his career in the 9th inning, with his team either tied or behind. TXU Energy power player to watch. Prince with 3 hits last night, including that game-tying home run. First 3-hit game of the season. Three for 12 against Wade Miley is Prince Fielder. Checks his swing. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Well, Prince trying to lead off by getting a board here in the second. He'll be followed by the shortstop, Elvis Andrus. Prince hammering that pitch, but pulling it well foul.
That one stayed in a little bit. If it got out over the plate, he was right on it.
Another 3-2. Inside and low, ball 4, and Fielder draws the leadoff walk. Second straight inning that the Rangers have had their leadoff man aboard with a free pass.
No, the first 2 starts that Miley had against the Rangers were his first 2 starts of the year. And you've mentioned, Buzz, that he didn't fare too well in those starts. He gave up 11 runs in 12 innings. But in both those starts, he walked no batters. Didn't walk a batter and struck out 7 in each one. Got knocked around a little bit, but he didn't walk anybody.
Here's Elvis hitting at 273. Bluffing a bunt. Takes ball 1. Apparently the Rangers didn't let him get to any 3-ball counts to allow him to walk.
Hit him before he got there.
The numbers for Elvis. 308 average in his career against Miley. This line to left field coming on O'Malley as the ball hangs up for him. A hard out number 1. Back to first is Prince Fielder. So 1 out now, and Mitch Moreland will step in. Mitch with the average back on the upswing, 221. Start of this series, he was down right around 210. So he has done some pretty good work in the first 2 games. Moreland 3 for 8. Takes a strike at the knees. Mitch brings a 4-game hitting streak into play here this afternoon. 2 home runs in those 4 games. Both those home runs coming on Friday night here. A ball and a strike. Well, the big left-handed hitters in that Ranger lineup, Prince Fielder and Mitch Moreland, had a little time off. Jeff Bannister calling it unplugged them, and since he's plugged them back in, they've been pretty good. 6 games for Fielder hitting 348, and 4 games for Mitch, we told you, the 400 average. And the home runs have come back in vogue. 2-2. Miley, who doesn't use that slow curve nearly as much, almost exclusively to left-handers. And we got Moreland out in front. Extreme overshift by the Mariners. Kyle Seager, the third baseman, playing up the middle a bit at the shortstop spot. Yeah, Marte and Cano divvying up the right side of the infield. In the dirt, gets away, but not far enough for Fielder to try and advance. Full count to Moreland with 1 out. Mitch hitting 8th. He'll be followed by the Ranger catcher this afternoon, Robinson Chirinos. Chris Iannetta flashing the signs out for Wade Miley. Payoff pitch. We'll try it again. Talking about Mitch, in the last 4 ball games, the 6 hits, 5 of them have gone for extra bases. And for Mitch, that may be just as important as getting the hits as the kind of hits he's having. Couldn't wait quite long enough on that slow curveball, and he's gone on strikes. Miley recording his 2nd strikeout of the afternoon. 2 away, and Chirinos coming up.
Well, at 3-2, that's what Mitch saw twice. The big curveball. Tough to lay off that one. Right down the bottom of the strike zone. I think the way Mitch lit up those fastballs the other night, he's probably going to get a pretty good dose of those slow breaking balls.
Yeah, I would agree with him. Well, here's Robinson. Chirinos came back off the disabled list for the start of this series. Came on as a pinch runner last night. Did not have a plate appearance. But Jeff Bannister said until Robinson's, they're going to ease him back in as far as catching every day. They don't want him to go back-to-back days quite yet. And maybe this coming week, Robinson will be tested in that manner. But for right now, it's every other day or so. Drive to left field. O'Malley to his left and makes the catch out near the warning track. That'll do it. Rangers get a leadoff walk with Strand Fielder. After 1.5, Rangers nothing, Mariners nothing on Fox Sports Southwest. Texas Rangers baseball on Fox Sports Southwest. It is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealer. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer today for incredible deals and see why Ford is the best in Texas. Nice look at downtown Seattle, Washington, the Emerald City, the northwest coast. Clouds pretty much have broken up, kind of a hazy sunshine as we head to the bottom of the 2nd. Nelly Cruz lofts a fly ball to right. Drew a lot of oohs and ahs from the crowd, but Omar Mazara back there to make the catch. 1 away on 1 pitch.
Yeah, these guys hit so many home runs. I think anytime the ball goes up in the air, the fans get excited. I don't blame them when you watch the guys launch them like they've been able to do that. They rank 2nd in the major leagues with 93 home runs. Baltimore's ahead of them. Baltimore lost today, but they scored 9 runs, so they probably added to that home run total if I'd have to guess.
That series between the Blue Jays and the and the Orioles, he might have hit a lot of home runs in that thing, those two teams. Deho Lee taking strike one. Lee made a huge impact. I'm not talking about his size. I mean what he did with his bat here on Friday night. 2 home runs in that ball game off of Derek Holland. Hit a solo blast and then a 3-run bomb.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that you can't let his shape get in the way of your thinking, because this guy can swing the bat. He's probably not as finely tuned an athlete as exists in Major League Baseball, but he plays first base pretty well, and he can hit. And if you can play first base and you can hit, it doesn't really matter what you look like.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
They say he's lost a little bit of weight too.
Now there's a punchline there someplace. I don't know what it is, so I'm not going to say it.
I remember when they were lining up on opening day. I'd never seen him before, seen his name, but had no idea what he looked like. Looked over there, I thought he was a coach. I didn't know he's a player. Then I saw him swing a bat and said, "Oh yes, he is definitely a player."
It kind of reminds me, when looking down at him, the guy that played for Mexico City Reds for all those years.
Yeah, the big guy.
Big guy.
Yeah, that guy could hit too.
Yeah, about a 320 hitter. And Lee down on strikes as Hamels elevates that fastball and gets his first strikeout of the afternoon. And that is number 1999 for Cole Hamels in his career. A 2 away, Kyle Seager coming up. That's a classic power swing, that slight uppercut. Normally, with most of those guys, if you're going to elevate that fastball with a little bit on it, you stand a pretty good chance of getting it. It's when you miss down a little bit down below the belt that you don't get a lot of those balls back.
Yeah, he's shown that he can get that leg kick up and down and turn around velocity. That doesn't seem to be a problem. Well, you're right, Buzz. Maybe the location could get him from time to time, but it doesn't look like velocity can get him after he hit that ball out of Jake Diekman to beat us last time we were here.
Right.
I think it was 97 miles an hour.
Kyle Seager with his 11th home run here on Friday night. Again, bedeviling the Rangers. Seager, not so much this year, hitting just 179 against Ranger pitching, only 7 hits in 39 times to the plate, but that's this year. Go back over his career, he's still a 317 lifetime hit.
He had a good swing in that last at bat of the game. He just got underneath it last night.
Yeah.
Hit it to the warning track.
Takes that pitch inside. It's 2-1. Seager, along with Nelly Cruz and Robinson Cano, most home runs against Ranger pitching for the last couple of years. Gets this one well to center field. Desmond retreating. And halfway back the warning track, makes the catch, and that'll do it. It's a 1-2-3 inning. As Cole Hamels sends the Mariners down, we have finished 2, and we are scoreless in Seattle.
Hamels in this finale of a 3-game set here at Safeco Field in Seattle. Cole says that the pitching performance by Colby Lewis last night, believe it or not, helps him today.
You get humbled with your teammates, because even though you might have a good game, another guy's gonna challenge you to do it again, and to make sure that in between those good games you're doing all your work, so that we can all pitch 34 starts a year, and that's what it really takes, is ultimately keeping each other in check, but also encouraging each other.
And Cole was reluctant. He was a part of such great rotations in Philadelphia. He was reluctant to compare this one to any of those, but he said all of the great rotations have that. They all encourage each other and help each other just by their sheer performance, guys.
All right, John, thank you. Yeah, great points. Certainly goes a long way to improving everybody in that rotation. Jurickson Profar tapping out to Robinson Cano, one away. And I would think on most teams, the hitting group is kind of like that, where guys get on each other to help each concentrate some more.
I think what seems to happen with hitting is a couple of guys get hot, and you hear people say it's contagious, and I don't know whether it's contagious or you get a few people hot and it just takes the pressure off of everybody else and they can relax and hit. When no one's hitting, it just seems like everybody goes up to the plate feeling like, well, if I don't do it here, no one's going to do it. I better try to hit a home run. But the more guys that are hitting, the more the lineup relaxes, and I think just lets their own natural talent come through to be the hitter they can be.
No, Ian Desmond at the plate.
I hear that a lot with pitching staffs, how they challenge each other, how they hang out together and talk about it and watch each other and motivate each other.
Yeah, and it seems to be divided up, the pitching rotation and the pitching bullpen.
Yeah, bullpen's out on an island. I don't think they're part of anything. They do their own thing out there.
They're a little different for the most part, yeah.
I like the rituals that they have.
Yeah, there have been some bullpens that have been extremely superstitious, where you have assigned seating virtually every place.
Well, John Wetland used to have his own little routines that went on out there. We could watch them, but you were never really in on them to know exactly what was going on.
Changeup for strike 3 as Desmond couldn't make contact. 2 gone. Well, Nomar Mazara coming up. Before he steps in, let's send it back to Rick Renner for a Chevy game break. All right, Rick, thank you. Breaking ball in for strike 1 to Nomar. Mazara skied out to right field back in the first inning. Nomar now a .321 average as Miley misses a bit low. Boy, Nomar just quietly consistent. He has brought in a 10-game hitting streak to play here this afternoon. That's the longest streak of his young career. Take strike 2. Still the youngest position player in the major leagues. Chopper right down the line, and it is a foul ball. Tim Timmons, the first base umpire, and kind of waited to see if Jerry Davis, the home plate umpire, would make a call, and he didn't. So Timmons said, I'll call it foul. That's fine. Our Ford leaderboard this afternoon, hitting streaks active in Major League Baseball. Jose Iglesias of the Tigers and Nomar Mazara both with 10-game streaks. Jammed him a little bit, and Cano up with a roller. That'll do it. Oh, a quick 1-2-3 inning. First time Miley has sent the Rangers down in order. After 2.5, Rangers nothing, Mariners nothing on Fox Sports Southwest. Why don't you hit the road with the Rangers? Rangers Destination Travel Packages offer you first-class hotel accommodations, great game tickets, a private meet and greet with the current Rangers player, a VIP ballpark tour, and a lot more. This season's trips include St. Louis, Boston, and Denver. Visit TexasRangers.com/destinations for information and to book your trip. Bottom of the third, Chris Iannetta starting things off. He leads the bottom third of the Mariner order. Iannetta, a .234 average. Veteran catcher is having a good year power-wise. 6 home runs, 16 driven in. 2 balls, no strikes. Iannetta currently with a 3-game hitting streak, and he has been excellent the last couple of weeks of play. Iannetta, a .364 average in his last 9 ball games. That takes him back through the month of June and the last couple of days of May. Change up from Hamels, 2-2. Iannetta and Hamels, no strangers to each other. Chris, 2 for 9 in his career. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 4. That's ball 4.
I think it hit him.
Did it? Get him inside?
I think it did.
Let's look at the scoreboard.
Take a look.
Yep, he got his back legs.
I think it just nicked him.
So Iannetta aboard, a hit by pitch, second time in 3 innings that the Mariners have had their leadoff man aboard. Leonys Martin will step in. Martin brings a .248 average into play here this afternoon. Bunted through that for strike 1. Leonys playing the first 2 games of this series with the Rangers after coming off the disabled list. Had a bad left hamstring. Shelved for 15 days. 0 for 8 since coming back into the active roster. Nothing and 2. Cole has that ability with his breaking ball to change speeds on it. He turns what normally is kind of a slider, harder breaking ball into a slow curveball from time to time. It really is devastating, particularly to left-handed hitters. That big breaker will get a lot of swings like Martin just had. Got him. 3 pitches and good night. 1 out. That is strikeout number 2,000. So Cole Hamels joining a pretty exclusive group. There are the 7 now that are active and have reached that 2,000 plateau. CC Sabathia leading the way with 2,600. Bartolo Colon, Felix Hernandez, Jake Peavy, John Lackey, Justin Verlander. And now Cole Hamels added to that illustrious list. Well, congratulations, Cole. You got 3,714 to catch Nolan Ryan. And you know that when I just said that, I was kidding a little bit, but that's ridiculous. You spend your career, and Cole's had a great one, to amass 2,000, and you're not even halfway there. Something else.
I remember when Nolan struck out his 5,000th hitter, one of the writers after that game asked him, what about 6,000? And he said it like in a joking way. You know, like that'll never happen. Obviously it didn't happen, but when he said it, Nolan never smiled. It's like, what, you think I can't strike out 6,000?
Yeah, I can see him taking that as a challenge.
Yeah, he took it like, you know, you're trying to insult me by telling me you don't think I can do that.
Sean O'Malley fouls off the next pitch. It's 1-2 now.
And there was probably a point, probably right around the time Nolan came to Texas, that some people in baseball would have doubted whether he could strike out 5,000, but he elevated his game to a new level when he came to the Rangers. Not a level that he never had before, but at that stage of his career, he certainly did.
Double play ground ball. Odor, Andrews, Moreland not in time. Davis couldn't quite get enough on the ball going across the bag, and O'Malley runs pretty well. Well, the force out removes Iannetta. Gets O'Malley aboard at first with 2 away for Ketel Marte.
Now O'Malley really got down the line. Ball was hit hard enough and close enough to the bag where it looked like it would be an easy double play. Throw was not accurate, but it might not have been a double play anyway, even if it was a good throw. He got down there in a hurry.
Go back to the top of the order. Marte opened the game up by singling to right field. And Hamels dropping that hook in for strike 1. Marte now at .280 average. Home run 14 driven in. For Marte, the single in the first, his first hit against Cole Hamels. Excuse me, I was looking at the wrong stat. Marte is now 5 out of 18 against Cole Hamels. 3 for his last 13. And if you didn't know before, you know now that Sean O'Malley runs pretty well. So Cole keeping a close eye on it. A ball and a strike. There goes O'Malley. And they get to confusion down there at second. Both Andrews and Odor reaching for the ball. And it gets away.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get him anyway. He had a big lead, a great jump, and he didn't care if the throw went to first. He was going to try to steal second, whether it went home or whether it went to first. Big jump. Perfect throw on the bag, might have had him. But there's definitely a little bit of confusion as to who's going to catch that ball and make the tag.
Well, and there was some confusion, too, from Mitch Moreland as to who to throw it to.
Yeah.
You saw both of them going together, and looked like he threw it to Elvis. Odor was the closer to the bag.
Yeah, I think you're right, Buzz. I think he could have gotten rid of it quicker if he had one guy to throw it to.
Well, 1-1 now, the count with O'Malley out there at second. And Hamels deals a strike right at the bottom of the zone. 1-2. That play, by the way, went down as a stolen base for Sean O'Malley. Softly hit, a one hopper out to Odor. That will do it. So the hit by pitch, stolen base, no problem. 1 left aboard. We'll go to the 4th inning. No score in Seattle. coverage of baseball, sponsored by T-Mobile. Well, Dallas Keuchel continuing to really struggle. Lost today to the Tampa Bay Rays 5-0. He is now 3-9 with a 5.54 ERA. Last year's Cy Young Award winner, struggling in 2016. Major League Draft, 8 graduates of the MLB RBI program were drafted. That is a great number, really showing you that Major League Baseball has something going with the RBI program, and reviving baseball in the inner cities. Rougned Odor leading things off here in the top of the 4th inning. Odor 0 for 1. He went down swinging his first time up. Miley with 3 strikeouts. He has allowed just the 1 base hit. Base hit back in the 1st inning to Ian Desmond. Couple of walks for Miley. Odor down on the count, 0-2. Called strike 3 at the outside corner with a fastball, and Rougned Odor caught window shopping. 1 gone.
Yep, good pitch. Good pitch. Caught the outside corner.
Saw how far outside Iannetta had set the target, and he had to reach back to the plate. That, according to our Fox tracker, right on the outside. Ryan Rua is swinging a miss. Rua 0 for 1. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 1st inning.
Wade Miley's working quickly and mixing them up pretty nicely right now. Not an overpowering fastball, but he's got a good changeup, good curveball. Pretty good idea how to pitch. When he gets on a roll, he can be tough. Wouldn't know it by his .527 earned run average. Mentioned this earlier, though. He said before his last game he felt like a mechanical change he made really helped him. Several starts before then he was getting bombed, but his last start he had 7 shutout innings and pitching pretty nicely so far today.
Yeah, and whether the mechanical change made all the difference or not, just that he felt it did, is the big thing, bringing the confidence back to him.
Right.
I'm sure hitters have the same thing that pitchers do. There's a base hit by Rua. Second hit of the afternoon for the Rangers. You know, hitters, I remember, can work something out and say, "Oh, I found it now. I got that." It may not have been anything.
Yeah,
and
you
yet
watch
you
it,
think you can swing it better.
Can't see any difference, but if it's in your mind that there's a difference and it's positive, you're right. Can work.
Rua aboard with a 1-out single. That brings up Prince Fielder.
Other people will say it's the fact that he shaved his beard off, allowing him to get through his delivery a little bit better.
Could be. Redistribute the weight a little bit. Prince takes a fastball for strike 1. Fielder drew a walk leading off the 2nd. An average at 204 for Prince. Fielder with that 3-hit night last night. As things on the rise at 23 of the last 27 games. Now 24 of the last 28 games. Prince has been on base, either by a hit or a walk. In the dirt. Rua, a little bit of a late break. He's going to advance to second, though. That ball rolling down the third baseline. Iannetta blocked it, but ball skittering away far enough to allow Rua to advance on the wild pitch.
I think Ryan at first couldn't tell exactly how far that ball was going to bounce away. Right here, it's kind of close to Iannetta as it rolls away. Then he realizes he can go.
Fielder rolls one down to Dae-Ho Lee. That's out number 2. On to third goes Rua. He's there now for Elvis Andrus. Wade Miley trying to work around a single and wild pitch. Elvis hit the ball sharply his first time up and lined to Sean O'Malley out in left field. Nothing and 1. Let me go back. Here's a before and after. Wade Miley on the left looked like the mountain man. On the right, a little more clean cut. And you'd have to say the results would indicate that that's made a difference.
Yeah. Until he gets bombed again, you probably won't see that Beard return.
Hard hit by Seager down the line. Rule will score. Elvis going for extra bases, and O'Malley digs it out of the corner. Elvis Andrus with the RBI double. Rangers on top 1-0. Second ball that Elvis has hit right on the button and finally has something to show for it.
Look like he got a slider down and in. Not a terrible pitch, but a good job of hitting.
The Rangers out in front here in the 4th inning. Elvis with his 22nd RBI of the year, and here's Mitch Moreland. 1 ball and no strikes. For Elvis, just his 2nd hit in this series. He's now 2 for 10. But that a very big RBI to get the Rangers out in front. Moreland went down swinging the first time that he faced Miley today. 1 ball and 1 strike after the foul ball. Well, the Rangers, as we talked about in our pregame remarks, opportunity to do several significant things. It would be with a win today to win their 7th consecutive series. Something that hasn't happened since 2012. Shot foul. They'd also get to 15 games over 500 for the first time this year. And it would give them the most games over 500 in the last couple of years. Since May of 2013, when they had a 5.5 game lead in the division. A 5-game lead with a win today would get close to that. There goes Elvis, and the pitch is top foul. Well, Elvis will retrace his steps, and we'll try the 1-2 pitch again. Miley not paying much attention to Elvis, and Elvis just got that walking lead and kept right on going. Miley checking with Chris Iannetta, has the sign he wants. Moreland a drive to deep left center field. That is up the alley, headed to the bullpen. Goodbye. Mitch Moreland, an absolute rocket. Got out of here over the 376 sign. Moreland with his 3rd home run in this series. The Rangers lead it 3-0.
Well, we showed some numbers for Mitch over the last 4 or 5 days. Seemed to indicate that things were starting to go his way, and that's a pretty good indication that they are. He took a slider down and out over the plate and drove it on a line 390 feet to left center field. That's a pretty good sign that Mitch is seeing the ball, staying with it, and looking a lot more like his old self.
You could have hung a month's worth of washout on that line drive. That was a frozen rope. So a 3-0 Ranger lead as they strike quickly with 2 outs.
Down and away. Maybe not as far down and away as he wanted it, but right at the bottom, lower right of the strike zone. Where that pitch was, the kind of breaking ball that it was, didn't look like the kind of pitch that would end up leaving the ballpark like that.
Chirinos takes a strike. Wade Miley said, wow, that guy's strong.
Yeah, well, if he saw where he hit that ball off the facing of the scoreboard in right field, he'd know how strong Mitch is. But yeah, I think he was shocked that he hit the ball there.
2-hopper to Seager deep behind the bag, and he throws out Robinson. Chirinos, that'll do it. But the Rangers strike for 3 runs with 2 outs. An RBI double by Elvis, and the 2-run Mitch Moreland home run will go to the bottom of the 4th. 3-0 Texas. offers savings of up to 50% on tickets, food, Kids Zones access, souvenir programs, and Coke soft drinks. Family Pack is an ideal way to catch Rangers when they play the Cincinnati Reds coming up on June 22nd and 21st. Visit TexasRangers.com/special to get your Coca-Cola Family Pack today. Probably the largest crowd on hand here tonight of the 3 games we played. Beautiful afternoon in Seattle. Rangers enjoying the scenery. They have jumped out to a 3-0 lead as the Thunder struck very quickly. Elvis a 2-out run-scoring double, followed by Mitch's blast into the bullpen. Well, Cole Hamels with a lead to protect now faces Franklin Gutierrez to start off the bottom of the 4th. Gutierrez ground ball to second back in the 1st inning. Cole Hamels with 1 hit given up, a couple of strikeouts. He's reached that 2,000 strikeout plateau in his career now. 2-0. Cole with 38 pitches under his belt, 23 strikes, 15 balls. Misses badly high and away. 3 balls, no strikes. Gutierrez leading things off. He'll be followed by the heart of the order, Robinson Cano and Nelson Cruz. Four-pitch walk. Puts Gutierrez aboard. That's not exactly what Cole had in mind.
No, I don't think so. Not after you score 3 runs. Come out, hadn't walked a guy in 3 innings. Throw 4 straight balls.
Cole, a little stroll behind the mound, making sure he knows who's covering second on a ball back to him. Elvis Andrus saying, I'll be there to make the catch. Just turn and throw, make me a good throw. Robinson Cano grounded out to Odor in the 1st. Cano steps in now, hitting at .291 for the season. Ball 1. Now our Kubota power stats, talking about Cole Hamels. 5.75 strikeout to walk ratio the last 3 starts against these Seattle Mariners. 23 strikeouts, just 4 walks. And he gets a strike there to Cano. Steel pitch tracker showing you that just cutting the outside corner in half. Ranger defense playing Cano a couple of steps around to the right on the infield. Check his swing as that breaking ball veered off the outside corner. It's 2-1. Odor trying to cut that hole down between 1st and 2nd a bit, shading toward the first base side. And Elvis up the middle, but not in anywhere close to an extreme overshift. Hamels set for the 2-1 pitch. To left field, hang it up for Ryan Rua. That is out number 1. Go back to first Gutierrez. Now Nelly Cruz coming up. Elvis a couple of words of encouragement. Probably with Elvis' knowledge of Nelson Cruz, maybe. Hey, how about not a first pitch fastball that he can get that bat to? Ranger fans will remember when Nelly Cruz got on a roll, the first fastball you threw, I don't care if he'd seen 15 breaking balls, first fastball you threw to him was right on every time. Fly ball to right his first time. Looks like a cutter down and in for ball 1. Cruz 3 out of 11 in his career against Cole Hamels. You see Nelly this year having much better luck as a DH. Last year was just the reverse. He was better when he was playing the outfield with his average, but this year the opposite. A 336 average as a DH coming into play. 230 as a right fielder. 2-0 pitch. Rangers so far this year have won 7 of the 11 games against these Mariners. They are 3-2 here at Safeco coming into the finale this afternoon. Base hit to center. Sharply hit ground ball, and stopping at second, Gutierrez. 2 on with 1 out. Dae-Ho Lee coming up. Cruz, an excellent low ball hitter. You get that pitch out away from him, and sometimes you're fortunate just to get the ball back. That ball was scalded, but on the ground. Dae-Ho Lee went down swinging the first time that he faced Cole Hamels. Lee with that .305 average. Fouled back and out of play for strike 1. Dae-Ho Lee, not your typical rookie, 34 years old, and how about 21-year-old Nomar Mazara? They are 2 of the top Rookie of the Year candidates here at the early going. Mazara, that .322 average, and Lee came in at .308.
Yeah, if they keep playing the same way, Lee's going to have a hard time catching up because he's pretty much facing left-hand pitchers. He's not getting an opportunity to play quite as much as Nomar. But per at bat, he's doing a pretty nice job.
Nomar out there in right field. Yeah, Nomar, the everyday outfielder. I was going to say right fielder, but when Shin-Soo Choo comes back, which may be very soon, as a matter of fact, probably move Mazara over to left. Pitch got in on the fist and then down on the foot of Dae-Ho Lee. Big man from Korea trying to walk off that shot to his left foot. Two on with 1 out. Rangers with a 3-0 lead. And Cole Hamels trying to extricate himself from a little bit of hot water. The 0-2 pitch. Steady. Little inside spin to check on Gutierrez at second. Chirinos with the signs. Now Hamels ready. Got him swinging.
Oh, good pitches to Dae-Ho Lee twice. Punched him out twice. That guy's swinging the bat really well.
Got that cutter up a little bit off the plate inside. Tied up Dae-Ho Lee.
Got him confused today.
3rd strikeout of the afternoon for Cole Hamels. 2 gone now, and Kyle Seager coming up. Seager skied out to center field as he finished off the 2nd inning this afternoon. Seager on an 0 for 5 in last night's ball game. Now on an 0 for 7 skid. Gutierrez a pretty good lead out there at second. Nelly Cruz trailing at first. Big breaking ball bends in for strike 1. Good look at the Ranger defense. Elvis Andrus now just on the barely on the first base side of second. Erickson Profar about 25 feet off the line at third. Popped up. Profar shading his eyes with his glove. Puts it away, and that'll do it. So Hamels able to work around the walk and the single. 2 stranded for the Mariners. On to the 5th we go. Rangers leading 3-0. is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by Mazda. In every car we make, you'll see why driving matters. A nice sunny afternoon here in Seattle. Rangers leading the Mariners 3-0 as they come to bat here in the top of the 5th inning. It'll be the top of the order, Jurickson Profar to face Wade Miley. Profar walked in the first, grounded to second in the 3rd inning. Rangers 3 runs on 4 hits. They put 3 of them together for their 3 runs last inning. 2-0. Profar at 359 with the average. And that pitch just off the outside corner. Our Steel pitch tracker showing you that could have been a strike. But Jerry Davis said, nah, not today. 3-1. Miley with 81 pitches now as he works here in the 5th inning. And he loses Profar. Jurickson draws his 2nd walk, leading off the 5th inning for Ian Desmond.
I remember when Jurickson was a young prospect, the comments that you would read in the game logs from the minor league games was that he had a very good eye at the plate. He wasn't a wild swinging young hitter, that he was a discerning hitter that hit for average and had a patient approach at the plate. We're seeing that in this particular game with 2 walks and 3 at bats.
Ball 1 to Ian Desmond. Yeah, when Jurickson first came to the Rangers, first foray into the big leagues, 2012 and 2013, I don't think he brought that with him necessarily. He was a little bit over anxious, and you can understand why.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Ball 2. But he sure seems now that the enforced time off, the 2 years that he had to deal with all the injuries, he is very, very comfortable with himself now as a ball player.
Yeah, and I think he's getting comfortable with the success he's had as a leadoff hitter on the team with the best record in the American League. It's giving him confidence and getting in a groove, knows he's going to be in there every day.
The former #1 rated prospect in all of baseball. And not an easy thing to live up to, but Jurickson's kind of let that go by the wayside, and he is becoming himself a very good ball player in his own right. 2-1 the count to Desmond. He had a base hit in the 1st inning, a strikeout in the 3rd. Multi-hit game leaders, Desmond, 25 of them coming into play today. Wasn't particularly thrilled with that effort. That evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Miley okays the sign, checks on Profar. A line drive to center. It's holding up, though, from Leonis Martin, and he makes the catch.
That was a rope. That was good defensive placement right there. Martin playing over in right center field, and a couple of those pitches in that at bat were off-speed pitches. But Martin was still playing over in right center field, and it's a good thing he was, because he wouldn't have had time to get to that ball.
Desmond, just another rope. He had a single that almost decapitated Miley in the 1st inning. And in this one, got out to Martin very quickly, let's put it that way. 1 out, here's Nomar Mazara. And a balk is called. And Miley called for the balk, and first base umpire Tim Timmons saying that Miley had that front foot, his lead foot, crossed over the direct line from his back knee to the pitching rubber to the to first base.
Yep, he's showing the manager, not going to bother to go any farther. He'll walk down like he's going out, and then just go back into the dugout down at the other end.
Scott Service was going to get an explanation, then apparently Tim Timmons gave him enough of an explanation to satisfy Tim.
He gave him a visual demonstration of exactly what he saw. And it was exactly what you described, Buzz.
Well, that balk, and now the Rangers have Profar in scoring position with one out. 0-1 to Nomar Mazara. Mazara has flied out, grounded out this afternoon, 0 for 2. It's a lashed foul the opposite way. 0-2. Mazara had pretty good luck in the daytime this year. Matter of fact, the Rangers have had pretty good success hitting in the daytime. You can take a look at our highest averages for the rookies in baseball. Nomar right there among the best. That's in the dirt. Profar is going to go to third. Iannetta couldn't locate it for a moment. And now Profar with just one out, 90 feet away from Mazara, who specializes in the sacrifice fly. He has 5 of them so far this year. Be a wild pitch charged to Miley.
That ball went right through Iannetta's legs and hit the umpire. Result would have been the same. Didn't matter.
So now with Profar at third, the infield for the Mariners pulled all the way into the cut of the grass. Mazara down on the count, 1-2. Miley will continue to work from the stretch. A foul tip into the glove, and Jerry Davis said that was strike 3. Mazara checking with Jeff Bannister before he walked away from home plate.
I think the only thing he could be thinking is that it hit the dirt first. He definitely ticked it. Iannetta definitely caught it. But let's see if it hit the dirt first. That might look like he picked it.
Yep. Didn't see any dirt kick up.
Beautiful play by Iannetta to be able to catch it before it did hit the dirt.
Well, that turns into the 5th strikeout of the afternoon. Now with 2 outs, the infield goes back to normal depth. And it brings up Rougned Odor, who has struck out both times, and he has faced Miley.
Yeah, this would be a spot for Rugi if Seager gets back a little bit farther to drop a bunt down the third base line and pick up a run.
Odor struck out swinging in the first, was called out on strikes in the 4th. Nice stop by Iannetta. 1 ball and 1 strike. Coming into play today, Odor was 2 for 6 against Miley. So he had not shown any signs of having the difficulty before that he's had today with it. Lays off that breaking ball. It's 2-1. Of course, Miley throwing better today than he has recently against the Raiders. He's had much better location today.
.95, the number of pitches that he'll throw right now.
Leaves that breaking ball inside. And it's 3-1 to Odor. Well, Rougned continues this 5th inning by getting aboard. Ryan Rua is in that on-deck circle. Did not go to the straight fastball.
Nope.
3-2. Odor waiting. Miley set to work. Third straight strikeout for Odor. No damage for the Rangers in the 5th. We played half the game. It's the Rangers 3, the Mariners nothing on Fox Sports Southwest. 16 Major League All-Star Game. The Rangers need your help to make sure that Texas is well represented in San Diego. You can send Ian and Elvis and Adrian and Rugnet and the rest of the Rangers to San Diego with your votes. Just go to texasrangers.com/vote and cast your vote up to 35 times. Fans who select the Rangers as their favorite team. Foul ball that Mazzara can't get to, but fans who select the Rangers as their favorite team will receive an offer for 50% off tickets to select games in August. Chris Iannetta with that long foul ball, leading off the bottom of the 5th inning. Iannetta hit by a pitch, his first time to the plate. Cole Hamels has allowed Iannetta to reach base. Also 3 other Mariners on a couple of hits and a walk. One and one, the count to Iannetta. Like a broken bat. Profar slings it over. Moreland for the catch and then the step on first. One gone. Leonis Martin coming up before he steps in. We're going to send it back to Rick Renner for a Chevy game break. All right, Rick, thank you. Yeah, Leonis Martin, a strikeout in the 3rd inning as he faced Cole Hamels. Hamels with 3 strikeouts today, now 2001 in his great career. Pumps in a strike to Martin. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Leonis, of course, coming up to Seattle in the trade in the offseason that brought Tom Wilhelmsen to the Rangers. Ouch. Foul ball right down on his front foot. 1 and 2. Steel pitch tracker showing that number 3 pitch right there. That's the one that Leonis pounded off of his foot. See if Cole comes right back there. The left-hander reading the signs, and he picks one out. Tried to, just wouldn't go for it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tom told you last time, Martin, 9 home runs. That's the most he has hit at the big league level already. He has really done a good job for the Mariners. They have been very, very happy with his acquisition. Suffered the last couple of years of the Rangers from injuries. Kept him out of the lineup. Lost his starting spot last year to Delino DeShields.
Yeah, the one thing the Mariners wanted to do is they wanted to upgrade their overall defense, and they did not have good defense in center field last year. Martin, one of the better defensive center fielders, one of the best throwing center fielders for sure. And that's why they wanted him. He's come over and actually hit much better than they probably anticipated. He's had 9 home runs already. And somewhat patient at the plate. Probably a little bit better walk percentage than he's had before, too.
He's not going to have a right foot left if he keeps doing that, though. Second time in this at bat. And Cole Hamels, to Cole's credit, has given him every opportunity to pound that ball off his front foot.
Trainer's not coming out. Oh, there he comes.
That's one way to slow down a speedy center fielder.
I think one thing Leonis has never been accused of that I can remember is having a high pain threshold.
He always knew when something was bothering Leonis. Yeah, he was. Any question physically, he would tell you or show you. Trying to stomp around and get that thing to quit hurting. Actually, what you have to do is you have to hit the other ankle with your bat so you forget about how bad your other foot hurts.
Like Adrian, did you ever see how hard Adrian waxes side? I guess it's the side of his cleat. I don't know how he doesn't have a bone bruise on his foot as hard as he does that.
I'm afraid he's going to miss that and hit his ankle bone one of these times. There's a drive by Martin that is headed to the bleachers, and it is gone. Leonis Martin with his 10th home run of the year, and it's a 3-1 Ranger lead.
He pulled a Jimmy Brown on us.
He did.
Home run for Martin.
It looked like Cole was trying to go back in there, and Martin got him out of there.
Yeah, he was staying in there. Said, I'm not hitting my foot again. I'm going to golf this one.
Well, the Rangers now with a 2-run advantage. Here's Sean O'Malley. Much doubt about that once it left the bat. Look out. That bat flying all over the place, and Profar picks up the bat after he throws the ball to first. Jurickson doing it all on that play. 2 gone. Leonis checking that foot. He's going to hurt it every time when he goes up there now. You know, that's got to be distracting. You know, Profar is trying to field the ball and he sees that splintered end of the bat coming at him.
Well, yeah, it's hard to concentrate only on the ball, and you don't know exactly where the bat's going to go, and the bat is a lot more dangerous than the ball. That thing is almost like a knife coming at you when it's just a slim edge spinning through the air like that. See it stick in the ground so many times, a very sharp edge. That's dangerous.
It's like a javelin sometimes.
Yep, it's dangerous.
Ketel Marte, a base hit in a couple of trips. First inning single. In the 3rd inning, he grounded out to second. Got 2 out, bases empty. Mariners have gotten on the board. The strength of Leonis Martin's solo home run. 2-1. Marte, the switch hitter, up there from the right side against the left-hander Hamels. 2-2. Here's that, some of that ethyl chloride, that freezing compound. Fouled away.
I think they got rid of that.
I did too, but he's freezing, throwing something on there. It used to be the cricket killer. Another 2-2 pitch. Call, strike 3. Hamels getting the call on the outside corner. Records his 4th strikeout. Mariners get a run on Martin's home run. We'll go to the 6th. It's now the Rangers 3 and the Mariners 1. Fox Sports Southwest. Sonic Slam Inning brought to you by Sonic. Today's jackpot is worth $1,400 and dinner for two at Sonic Drive-In. If a Ranger hits a home run during this inning, Marilyn High of Godley will win $1,400. And if a Ranger hits a grand slam this inning, Mary Lynn is going to win $25,000. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurant. Wade Miley's afternoon has come to an end. He was up right around the 100 pitch mark, and Scott Servais said that's enough. So Mariners have gone to Steve Johnson. Johnson will come on to face the Rangers here in the top of the 6th inning. Rua, Fielder, and Andrews, the first three to face Johnson. Steve appearing in his 15th ball game, a 1-0 record, a 2.87 ERA. League hitting just 175 against him. Big, slow breaking ball. Rua checked his swing 5 times before that ball got there. Low and outside. Wade Miley this afternoon, 5 innings of work, 4 hits, 3 runs. They were all earned. They all came in the 4th inning. 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. And Steve Johnson now falls behind, 3 balls and no strikes to Rua, leading off the 6th inning. Rua to be followed by the Ranger DH, Prince Fielder. Rangers 3 runs on 4 hits today. The Mariners 1 run on 3 hits. And ball 4 is high. Rua aboard. So Ryan, second time he has been on base. The single in the 4th got that 3-run inning started. We'll see if he starts another Ranger uprising here with a leadoff walk.
Johnson only given up 10 hits in 15 2/3. He'd struck out a batter per inning, but he'd walked 9, now 10 in 15 2/3. He's pitched around those walks for the most part. See if he can pitch around this leadoff walk.
Rua going to second. The throw not nearly in time. Rua had a walking lead.
That's a jump and a half right there.
Man.
The thing that I won't say has surprised me, but that has been very impressive with Ryan is his base running.
Yeah.
Very alert on the bases. He frequently, aggressively takes an extra base. Incredible jump on that steal right there.
Well, he is in scoring position now for Fielder. 1 ball and 1 strike as Johnson comes back and hits the outside corner. 6th stolen base for Rua.
Yeah, 6 for 6. He's doing a lot of nice things for the Rangers.
Outside corner. It is 1 and 2. The Rangers as a team last several weeks starting to run more. That's their 40th stolen base. They came in 5th in the American League in that running category. Broken bat, ground ball, foul, and Prince is going to have to go back for some new lumber. Fielder a walk in the 2nd, ground out to 1st in the 4th inning. Trying to at least advance Rua to 3rd. Pull the ball to the right side. We've seen Prince in this series, though, hit the ball very effectively to left center field a couple of times. 2 and 2. Well, we saw him last night hit the ball pretty effectively to right field, too, about 415 feet. Tied that ball game in the 9th inning. Rangers went on to a 2-1 11-inning win. Johnson set a check of Rua. Is out of play to the left. Fielder with 3 home runs in his last 11 ball games. He's driven in 6 over that time period. He's starting to get things back in order. 3 and 2. Prince trying to get aboard to join Rua. Elvis Andrews, the Rangers shortstop, waits in the on-deck circle. Brent settling back into the batter's box. Rua expanding his lead out at second base. Payoff pitch from Johnson. That's weighted nicely on that off-speed pitch. And our steel pitch tracker showing you that pitch outside, but Prince had a pretty good hack at it. Ninth pitch of the at-bat coming up. Again, Johnson ready.
Oh.
Fortunately, Ketel Marte, the shortstop, wasn't breaking immediately as Johnson spun around to the inside. Marte a couple of steps on the first base side of second base. Steve Johnson ready once again. Davis granting Prince fielder time. I believe it was Prince who asked for time. Davis at the last second granted it, and Steve Johnson stopping midway through his delivery almost screwed himself into the ground.
Well, he's not taking any chances with Ryan after the jump Ryan got to steal second. He's afraid he's going to do the same thing and waltz on over to third.
Going outside, back-to-back walks. Rangers have 2 on, nobody out for Elvis. No, Rangers getting to this bullpen. They did it last night a little bit. The blown save, the 10th blown save of the year for the Mariner bullpen as Cishek gave up the 2-out home run to Fielder. And with Mel Stottlemyre Jr. out there to have a chat, we have a moment to remind you that this Thursday, the greatest golfers in the world converge on historic Oakmont Country Club. It's the 116th U.S. Open Golf Championship. Live coverage begins on FS1 and continues through the final round on Sunday, Father's Day, June 19th on Fox. Or you can watch the entire championship live on Fox Sports Go. The conference concluded. Elvis at the plate has had an RBI double in line to left field. And he has a base hit to left. Rua being waved around third. O'Malley with the throw to the plate, not in time. Rua able to slide in safely. And Elvis Andrus with his second RBI of the afternoon. The Rangers now lead it 4-1.
You haven't watched, again, talking about Ryan Rua the last few years. I don't think he's ever been faster than he is right now. Maybe it's always been the same. He just seems like he's kicked it into a different gear, running speed-wise. He's flying going around third base here. Ball's not hit that hard. O'Malley comes up throwing. Makes a play out of it at the plate. He really charged it, so he doesn't have a long throw. What a nice slide by Ryan to get home with that big insurance run.
And that base hit is going to knock Steve Johnson right out of the game. So Scott Service out there. He wants the left-hander to come in. Got a pitching break here at Safeco Field. Rangers on top 4-1. We'll be back right after this. a timeless moment for you this afternoon. 1997, the first interleague game was played at the ballpark in Arlington, as it was known then. The Giants defeated the Rangers 4-3. And in these last 20 years, it has become quite the big part of Major League Baseball. Rangers are a big part of Major League Baseball as they are leading the Western Division, looking for more of a lead. They lead it here 4-1. Vidal Nuno, the left-hander, appearing in his 23rd game of the year. 1.80 ERA. He has been extremely tough, especially on the left-handed hitters. He's facing Mitch Moreland with runners at first and second, nobody out. A run across for the Rangers. Moreland pounded a Wade Miley pitch back in the fourth inning into the bullpen, deepest left center field. For Mitch, his 9th home run. And he now has driven in 27. Rangers 4 runs on 5 hits. They've capitalized on a couple of walks and a single in this inning. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Our AT&T high-speed internet replay will take you back to that 4th inning. Mitch Moreland dropping the head of the bat on that slider from Wade Miley. The result, about a 405-foot line drive home run. Mitch's 3rd home run in this series. Down on the count to Nuno here. Got him swinging. And that is the first out. It'll bring up Robinson Chirinos now. That high breaking ball, it kind of spun up there, but Mitch not able to turn on it. Robinson Chirinos has flied out and grounded out. He's got Prince Fielder at second. Elvis Andrus at first. One ball and no strikes. Robinson currently hitting at an even 200. Nuno a check of second. That was fouled out of play. Chirinos 0 for 1 with a walk against Nuno in previous matchups. A little bit inside, according to our steel pitch tracker and Jerry Davis. Tim Timmons down there at first being asked to rule on the check swing, and he said no swing. No, it's 2-1. Now Nuno set. In the dirt, 3 balls and a strike. Well, Chirinos bidding to get aboard to at least fill the bases. Maybe even drive in a run or 2. Top of the order, Jurickson Profar will be next. A high strike, 3-2.
Tie, all right. Not sure it was a strike. Nuno's only walked 1 batter in 20 innings.
He's getting calls like
That's
that.
probably why. That's probably why right
Yeah.
there. Catcher can catch it. It's not going to be a ball.
Our steel pitch tracker says, "Are you kidding me?" No. It's pretty automatic though. Get a 3-ball count. Pitch pop foul back into the seats. We'll try the 3-2 pitch again. Now Robinson's still looking for his first hit since getting back into the lineup. Friday was his first game since first week of April. Nuno again ready, and another 3-2 pitch. Inside, ball 4. That will load him up for Profar. 3rd walk of the inning. And the Rangers this year have shown that they are more than willing to take advantage of walks when they're given. Very opportunistic offense. And it's also a very opportunistic time to load the bases in our Sonic Slam inning.
Oh, yeah.
25,000 if Jurickson knocks it out of the ballpark, but he pops it up. That's not going to quite get out. Dae-Ho Lee makes the grab. That is out number 2. It'll bring up Ian Desmond. Mary Lynn High from Godley, Texas. If you're not on the edge of your seat right now, Mary Lynn, you probably should be. 25,000 if Desmond can hit the ball out of the ballpark for you. Ian 1 out of 3 this afternoon. All those at bats came against the starter, Wade Miley. Nothing and 1. Nuno back to the plate. Line drive, base hit to right field. Fielder scores. Andrus being waved around. The throw by Gutierrez not in time. On to third goes Chirinos, and a 2-run single by Ian Desmond. The Rangers are out in front 6-1.
How many ropes can that guy hit? He almost took off the pitcher's head the first time up. He had a line shot his third time up that Martin caught in right center field. And this time he hits a pitch that's down and away just as hard into right field for a 2-run single. He's killing the ball.
I think the answer to your question about how many ropes he can hit is only limited by how many at-bats he gets.
As many as he wants. As many as he gets.
So another 3 spot on the board. The Rangers aren't finished yet. Here's Nomar Mazara. Well, Ian Desmond, another multi-hit game, is 26th in such contests this year. 2 more RBI. He is now driven in 42. That's tops on the ball club. Nomar Mazara looking for his first hit today. Nomar with that 10-game hitting streak on the line. .318 average. Nuno with a 1-0 pitch. Popped him up. Seager into foul territory. And that will do it. But the Rangers send 8 men to the plate. 3 of them score. They leave 2. Will go to the bottom of the 6th. Now the Rangers 6 and the Mariners 1. Around Sunday, June 26th, it's Bluebell Ice Cream Sunday out at Globe Life Park. Ice cream on that day is just $1 for youngsters 13 and under. Come on out and see your Rangers take on the offensively minded Boston Red Sox. Find your tickets for the 26th of June at TexasRangers.com, or you can call 9-7-2 Rangers. So a 6-1 advantage now for Cole Hamels as he goes to work here in the 6th inning. Gutierrez, Cano, and Cruz. The first 3 to do the swinging. Out of play, 1 ball and 1 strike. Gutierrez has grounded to second and walked. Cole Hamels, 75 pitches under his belt here this afternoon as he works in inning number 6. 47 strikes and 28 balls. Two and 1. Gutierrez sporting a .240 average as he faces Cole Hamels. Off the end of the bat, and Mitch Moreland will take it to the bag himself for out number 1. Cole Hamels doing what he does so well today. A lot of mishit balls, broken bats, and balls off the end of the bat. When he's pitching well, the slight changes of speeds and the excellent location will get a lot of those mishit balls. And that's been the case here this afternoon. Gave up the one loud one to Leonys Martin that left the ballpark, but other than that, Cole's been in pretty good command here this afternoon. Robinson Cano will testify to that. He has grounded out and flying to left field. First pitch to him is outside for ball 1. Appreciate the good folks at Steel for showing you our pitch tracker. Keep you up to date on the exact locations of Cole's offerings. 2 balls, no strikes. Cano now hitting at .290. And ball 3 is upstairs. Well, Hamels, whose only walk was a leadoff pass to Gutierrez in the 4th inning. In danger of losing Cano here. Nelson Cruz, the cleanup man, is in the on-deck circle. 3 and 1. Hamels back to the plate. 2 hopper to Rougned Odor. One second baseman throws out the other, and there are 2 away. Well, with the bases empty now, Hamels will face Nelson Cruz, who has one of the 3 hits for the Mariners today. That was a 4th inning single. Very solidly struck up the middle of the diamond. Now, as you can see, that .291 average. He has put together a couple of outstanding years here in Seattle. Now with a 4-game hitting streak intact. Oh, and 1.
Completely different strike zone for Hamels, man.
Hamels to the wind. Cruz chops it foul. Sun now brightening up the entire ballpark this afternoon here in Seattle. Kind of a milky overcast overhead at the moment. Very pleasant afternoon. Temperature in the upper 60s. Very little breeze. Got him swinging. Hamels elevated. Cruz couldn't get on top of it. And that is strikeout number 5 for Hamels. A 1-2-3 inning. After 6, Rangers 6, Mariners 1 on Fox Sports Southwest. We go to the 7th inning. It's time for our 4-game summary. Elvis got the progression of runs started for the Rangers. That RBI double driving home Ryan Rua in the 4th inning. And then one batter later, Mitch Moreland going the other way with his 9th home run of the year into the Mariner bullpen, made it a 3-0 Ranger lead. Then it was Elvis again. 2 innings later, drives home his 2nd run of the afternoon. Rua scoring. The Rangers would go on to put 3 on the board in the 6th inning and take a commanding 6-1 lead. Rougned Odor starting things off for the Rangers here in the 7th. Odor probably as happy as anybody to see Wade Miley out of the ball game. Rougned struck out all 3 times against the left-hander. No day at the beach facing Vidal Nuno. Nuno's dropped in a couple of strikes, 0-2. Rougned a .265 average. Nuno back to him. Mariner defense in the overshift around to the right. 2-2. Odor has found Nuno not that tough for him to solve. 2 for 7. One of those 2 a double. Call strike 3. One of those days where it's like Rougned Odor is kind of in between on the pitches.
Well, I'll trade a day like this for a game winner any day. And
yep.
That game winner was huge last night. That tough pitch right there. Just barely a strike down and away.
Rougned Odor with a golden sombrero. 4 strikeouts this afternoon.
Ryan Rua has started both 3-run innings. Started the 3-run inning in the 4th with a base hit. Started the one in the 6th with a walk. Scored a couple of runs. Stolen a base.
1 ball and 1 strike after the foul back. Rua now a .287 average. One ball and 2 strikes. Rua hitting in the neighborhood of .350 in his last 16 ball games. 2-2. Ryan has now hit safely in 6 of the 7 games that he has faced Seattle this year at a .455 mark. Got him swinging. Nuno working him over pretty well, has back-to-back strikeouts. 3 on the afternoon for Nuno. 2 gone. Prince Fielder coming up. Fielder has walked twice today. 0 for 1 officially. After his walk in the 6th inning, he came around to score. Oh, 1. Fielder 1 for 6 against Vidal Nuno. Nothing in 2. Nuno originally property of the Cleveland Indians. He was a 48th round draft pick back in the 2009 draft. Made his major league debut with the Yankees in 2013. Also has had a stop in Arizona before coming to Seattle. It's part of a trade just about this time last year, 6-player deal between the Mariners and the D-backs. Still 1-2. That deal last June 3rd was the one that sent Mark Trumbo along for Dominic Leone and Vidal Nuno. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-0 foul. We will try it again. Rangers 6 runs on 6 hits today. Mariners just a run on 3 hits against Cole Hamels. And another long at bat. Prince has had a couple of them today. He had a 9-pitch at bat that resulted in the walk in the 6th inning. He's going to have at least an 8-pitch at bat here. Sky to right field. Gutierrez, sunglasses glinting, makes the catch, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. But we'll take the stretch here in Seattle, 6-1 Rangers. And now please join the public address announcer as he introduces God Bless America.
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask you now to please rise and join us in honoring our great country with the singing of God Bless America. Please welcome from Edmonds, Marcus Shelton.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
All right, John, nice going.
There's been a few pros going that water, John, so I wouldn't worry about it. That's pretty cool at the ballpark.
It is. Only one of the I would have thought there'd been more, but there may be in the future.
I'd change the pricing though.
You think?
Yeah, $5 for 3 shots. That's a little hefty. Should be $5 a hole. You should be able to play a hole.
A hole lead leading off the bottom of the 7th. Skies to Ian Desmond in center. That is out number 1.
Maybe a maximum triple bogey, but you should be able to. You want to play that par 3, you should get like at least 6 shots.
Now, anything but a putt. I'm not going to pay money to putt.
No, I wouldn't care about the putt either.
Just automatic 2-putt and go on home.
Yeah.
Now Cole Hamels now with 1 out here in the 7th inning will face Kyle Seager, who is 0 for 2. Golf Safeco is the feature called.
Tell you what, $5 for 3 shots. You're going to pay for that simulator after a couple of games.
Kyle Seager, a little soft line drive that settles into right center for a base hit. Oh, 1 on, 1 out. Chris Iannetta coming up. But first, we're going to send it back to the studios and Rick Renner for a Chevy game break.
Mr. Mulligan.
$5 for 3 shots. That'll cut down your mulligans, too.
That's for sure.
Well, here's Chris Iannetta for his 3rd at bat. He's 0 for 1 officially.
That American League Central's been crazy. First couple of weeks of the season, the White Sox are about 10 games over 500, and everybody's saying, can the White Sox keep this up? Oh, yeah. Look at the pitching, the starting pitching they've got, and the lineup's coming around. Next thing you know, they go into a free fall. Kansas City gets hot and goes into first place. Then they lose 7 or 8 in a row, and now Cleveland's 3 games in front.
Yeah, it's gone completely crazy.
Man.
And look out for the Tigers. They're starting to get their act together.
That's right. The Tigers are only a couple games over now.
Tony Barnett
turned upside down.
Inside corner at the knees. It is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cole Hamels at the 92 pitch level. He has gone 7 innings in each of his previous 2 starts. Trying to get a win for the first time in 4 starts. Just missed with that one. 2-2. Line for Cole this afternoon. Just 4 hits and a run. That run coming on Leonys Martin's home run. 5 strikeouts for 2003 in his great career. 2-2 pitch. Full count. Well, Iannetta hitting 7th in the order. The aforementioned Leonys Martin will follow. Kyle Seager at first base. Hamels a long look in. Time call. The left-hander nods in agreement and sets. A little bit low, ball 4. There are 2 aboard with 1 out. And Martin coming up. 2nd walk of the day. Issued by Cole Hamels. Very quickly, Chirinos have to have a very quick chat with him. Now Elvis going to come in from his shortstop position. Something in passing as Elvis reached down for the rosin bag and then went back out to short. Now Doug Rocaille going to make his trip to the mound. Well, 95 pitches for Cole Hamels, 68 strikes, 37 balls. It's been a little bit of a fit and start afternoon for Cole. He'll go through stretches of 5, 6, 7 hitters where everything's working perfectly, and then all of a sudden, almost jumping up out of nowhere, run into a little bit of a problem with command. Left-hander, though, ready to get back to work for Leonys Martin, who is 1 for 2. It's either been the penthouse or the basement for Martin this afternoon. A strikeout and a solo home run. He went around as the appeal. 0-1. Hamels trying that low inside pitch again and missed. 1 ball and 1 strike. Remember last time up before the home run, Leonys Martin had pounded 2 balls off of his front foot, hopping around and tended to by the Mariner training staff. It hit a 3-2 pitch into the bleachers. Couldn't quite get that breaking ball.
That's what he did to him the first time up.
Yeah.
He didn't waste any fastballs in. He just went to the breaking ball, got him chasing it. Well, that's what he did on that one. Big sweeping sidearm breaking ball.
1-2. Ripped down the right field line, foul. That one hung over the middle of the plate.
Yep, didn't quite get that one out there.
Unfortunately for Hamels and the Rangers, that ball was pulled foul. Seventh highest swing and miss percentage in Major League Baseball. 30% of Cole Hamels' pitches are swung on and missed. Tried the fastball back in there and missed it off the plate. 2-2. Leonys Martin now with 10 home runs, 21 RBI. And hitting at .252 for the Mariners. Got Seager at second, Iannetta at first. 3-2. A 2 on with 1 out. Martin with a 3-2 count. He's batting 8th. He'll be followed by Sean O'Malley. Payoff pitch. We'll reset and try it again. Seager at second, trailed by Chris Iannetta at first. Very important at bat here with Leonys Martin facing Cole Hamels. Chirinos going to go out and see if he can get together, get on the same page with Cole Hamels. First time these two have worked together since way back in April. So refamiliarizing themselves with each other. Now we're all set to go. Leonys back in the box. Hamels leading in for the sign. The 3-2 is on the way. Shallow center field. Desmond coming on. Elvis going out. It's Elvis to make the catch. That is out number 2, and it'll bring up O'Malley. Important out for Cole Hamels.
Yeah, Martin gave a good at bat, hanging in there. A breaking ball down and away. Stayed with it, but popped it up.
Sean O'Malley, the switch hitting outfielder, will now come up. O'Malley has reached center fielder's choice and grounded to third. 0 for 2 today. And batting average, as you can see, at 167. Looping drive, up the ladder goes Elvis, and he comes down with the rebound. Nice play by Elvis Andrus for the final out. Good defense, and Hamels and the Rangers are out of the 7th inning. No runs, a hit, and 2 left. On to the 8th, 6-1, Texas. baseball live with MLB.com at Bat app. You stay up to the moment and any moment with game day, live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and a lot more. Just download MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone or tablet. Better than 39,000 on hand here this afternoon at Seiko, the largest crowd of this 3-game series. 39,251. The Rangers enjoying the nice setting here this afternoon, leading 6-1 as Elvis Andrus leads off the 8th inning. It'll be the bottom third of the order. Andrus, Moreland, and Robinson Chirinos to face Vidal Nuno. Elvis, an outstanding day, 2 for 3, a single, a double, 2 RBI, 2 runs scored. The only out he made was a line drive to left field that he hit right on the button. 1 ball and 1 strike. Nuno, the third pitcher used this afternoon by Scott Service. Wade Miley went the first 5, gave up 3 runs on 4 hits. Steve Johnson did not retire a hitter as he allowed a couple of walks and a base hit. Vidal Nuno then came in to take over in the 6th inning. 2-1 pitch. Up the middle. Cano can't get it. It's into center field. Elvis has a 3-hit afternoon.
Yeah, Elvis has been struggling a little bit. Saw his average go down to 273. Hit the ball well his first time up, but he lined out to left field. Since that time, been going good for him, going well for him. A double, a single, an RBI each time, scored each time. Now maybe beginning another rally here in the 8th.
The Rangers have 7 base hits. Elvis with 3 of them. Mitch has 1. That was his 9th home run of the year into the left field bullpen. Hits this one high in the air to left center, but it's going to stay in the ballpark. Martin and O'Malley. It's Leonis Martin to make the catch. Andrus goes back to first. There's 1 away. So Mitch back to the dugout, 1 for 4. And Robinson Chirinos will step in. Chirinos drew a walk back in the 6th inning. Is 0 for 2 officially. Chirinos turning on that pitch up and in, and a towering pop foul back into the 3rd deck on the left side. Hit it right over his left shoulder. Nuno, a check of first. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now the left-hander ready one more time. There goes Elvis. He had a huge jump. The throw not in time. Elvis Andrus with a stolen base.
Nice throw by Iannetta, but with that jump, I don't think he had much of a shot. Mariners are saying, wait a minute, we want to take a look at this before we go on to the next pitch. The only question is, did he come off the base?
Yeah, did he lift that foot up? Looked like he dragged that toe along the base as he was standing up.
Yep.
And that's the word that Scott Service got in the Mariners dugout. So Elvis now in scoring position. 2 balls and a strike to Chirinos. Now 2-2. Robinson coming back from that fractured forearm. Got hit by a Garrett Richards pitch back on the 9th of April out in Anaheim. Robinson able to get 21 at bats in rehab assignments. He's gone on strikes here though. That is out number 2. Nuno with 4 strikeouts now.
Yeah, the big hit that hurt. Well, he walked Chirinos, but then the hit that hurt him was the bullet that Desmond hit in the right field to kind of break the game open a little bit. That was a 2-run single.
Profar 0 for 2 officially with a couple of walks. Erickson walked in the first and walked in the fifth. Other than that, he's had a pop out and a ground out. Line drive that got the left leg of Spike Owen. It was a broken bat, so fortunately it wasn't a bullet, but that still is going to smart. Spike old school though. He's not rubbing it.
He wants to.
Yeah, he does.
Right in the hamstring.
Spike Owen looking over at the Ranger bench. Somebody was advising him on how he should react, and was kind of like, nah. And the culprit, probably the guy on your right there, Adrian Beltre.
He's probably turned around like he's an infielder that time and be ready for it.
1-2 down to Profar. Yeah, third base coach with a guy at second is kind of in a precarious spot with a right-handed hitter.
He can't go way in back of the box like he normally can. He's got to kind of be in position for the runner.
2-2. Profar's hitting streak that was snapped last night of 13 consecutive games. That's the longest by a Ranger this year. Going the other way, and he shoots that foul back into the seats. Jurickson back in, taps the outside corner of the plate with that bat, and he's ready to go. Pop foul back our way, and still 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Rangers finishing up here this afternoon, then it's on down the coast to take on the Oakland A's for 4. Well, Oakland wearing out that disabled list. They've had injury after injury. Be interesting to see who they've got playing for them now. Way inside, 3-2. Four-game series in Oakland at the Coliseum. Oakland started the day 12.5 games back of the Rangers. Three-two pitch. Call, strike 3. Profar on his way to first. He'll have to retreat and grab his glove, as that's the final out of the inning. No runs ahead, 1 left. After 7.5, Rangers 6 and the Mariners 1.
Big lead on the Mariners, a chance to win another series, and a chance to head down the coast. About an hour and 45 minutes, according to our travel itinerary, to Oakland, California, where all of the Rangers love to play. But look at Ian Desmond's numbers against the Oakland A's this year, a .385 average against a divisional rival. And as the guys mentioned, have had some injuries of late, but it should be a great series. A 4-gamer begins tomorrow at 9. Rangers live at 8:30. AT&T high-speed internet reminds you to tune in tomorrow at 9 for more Rangers baseball, guys.
All right, John, thank you. Well, Tony Barnett has come out of the Ranger bullpen. He will take over here in the 8th inning. So Cole Hamels, 7 outstanding innings this afternoon. Hamels gave up just the 1 run on Leonis Martin's home run, 4 base hits. Walked a couple, struck out 5. And now Tony Barnett with his 26th appearance of the year. He brings in a 3-2 record. Opposition hitting just over 300 against him. Last time he worked was the final game of the Houston series at home. Sharply hit ground ball, flagged down by Moreland. He will take it to the bag and beat Ketel Marte. What a play by Mitch Moreland.
That's robbery right there. Pretty good agility for a guy Mitch's size, 240 pounds. He got to come across his body with a glove to catch that ball. Nice play. That takes an extra base hit away from Marte.
Boy. Well, 1 out, and now Scott Service has gone to the bench. He will bring out Seth Smith to pinch hit for Franklin Gutierrez. Seth Smith, a .252 average with half a dozen home runs and 25 RBI. Left-handed hitting outfielder. Rangers going to an overshift against him. He hits a rocket that's by Odor into right field for a base hit.
Boy, that would have been something if Odor came up with that play.
For Smith, his 3rd pinch hit in 11 at-bats this year.
No, he went up there with one thing in mind. See a fastball, get a good pitch to hit, and then swing and rip it, which he did. One hop smash by Rubnet. Couldn't quite get to it.
So 1 on with 1 out. Now you've got the meat of the order, starting with Robinson Cano to deal with. Cano 0 for 3 this afternoon, just 1 hit in the series. Taking all the way, it's in for strike 1. Cano has not faced Tony Barnett in the regular season. Barnett, the Anchorage, Alaska native. Pulled on the ground, base hit to right field. Smith will stop at second. Back-to-back singles with 1 out. Smith, now Cano, 2 aboard for Nelly Cruz. And Doug Brocail going to make another quick trip to the mound. The Mariners, back-to-back hits here in the 8th inning after having only 4 hits total against Cole Hamels in his 7 innings of work. Only 1 time in those 7 innings, or 2 times I should say, they put 2 runners aboard at the same inning. In the 4th and then in the 7th. They've done it here against Tony Barnett. Nelly Cruz had a 4th inning single. Other than that, he has flied to right and struck out. Smith at second, Cano at first. Rangers in at double play depth. Pretty much straight away up the middle with Elvis and Rugnet Odor. Ball 1. This Mariner offense has been good this year. They are second in scoring to the Boston Red Sox. 312 runs, including their run scored here this afternoon. They can fill up the scoreboard. As a team, they are 5th in the league hitting with .260 average. 93 home runs, as Tom told you, 2nd in baseball. Pitched a little bit low. It's 2-0. Cruz has been a thorn in the side of his former ball club. He has 7 home runs against the Rangers. 3-0. Cruz hitting 4th. Dae-Ho Lee, the first baseman, in the on-deck circle. Rangers have a 5-run lead, but as it stands right now, with 2 on and nobody out, a 5-run lead in jeopardy.
A lot of teams that have 5-run leads, a fairly safe lead, but Seattle's not one of them.
Yeah.
They've already had a couple gigantic comebacks this year. And when you've got that many guys that can hit the ball out of the ballpark, and a bunch of them are coming up.
3-1. Barnett, a check of the runners. In that cut fastball, and it's now 3-2. Tony Barnett studying the signs. A right-hander comes set. Payoff pitch coming to Cruz. Got him on the fist, a little looper into center. That's going to fall for a base hit. Smith will be held up at third. The bases are loaded with 1 out, and Dae-Ho Lee is coming up. But Tony Barnett kept it off the good part of the bat to Nelly Cruz. Unfortunately, Cruz is so strong that able to muscle that pitch out into shallow center for a base hit.
Yeah, he didn't necessarily hit the spot he was aiming for, but he hit the spot on Cruz's bat you'd like to hit, right off the handle. But the little blooper fell in.
And with the bases full now, Jeff Bannister making a slow walk out to the mound, so that's going to do it for Tony Barnett. And the only one throwing in the Ranger bullpen is the left-hander Jake Diekman. It looks like Diekman is going to be summoned to face Dae-Ho Lee in this situation. Bannister taking the ball from Tony Barnett. Barnett will leave with the bases full and 1 out here in the 8th inning. Rangers with a 6-1 advantage at the moment, and that lead is in jeopardy here in the Mariner 8th. We'll take a timeout. We're back to Safeco Field right after this on Fox Sports Southwest. If you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with the all-new Fox Sports Go app. All you have to do is download the app, and you can take Fox Sports, Fox Sports Southwest, and Rangers baseball with you wherever you go. Well, Jake Diekman, the 29-year-old southpaw, on, and he has inherited a mess. Bases loaded, 1 out. Rangers have a 5-run lead, but Dae-Ho Lee is at the plate. And you remember Dae-Ho Lee from back in April. Hit a walk-off home run against Diekman. And he takes the first pitch for strike 1. That is one of 2 at-bats that Lee has had against the Ranger left-hander. Got Seth Smith at third base, Robinson Cano at second, and Nelly Cruz across the diamond at first. 0-1 pitch. Dae-Ho Lee 0 for 3 today. All 3 at bats against the starter Cole Hamels. 2 strikeouts and a fly ball to center. Dae-Ho Lee with 10 home runs this year, but he does not have a different extra base hit. In other words, 10 home runs, but no doubles, no triples, which is hard to believe.
That's very unusual. I could see no triples, but
yeah,
somewhere one of those balls might hit the wall where you get a double.
I saw that stat. I had to double check it to make sure. Yeah, no doubles, no triples, and 10 home runs. And Robinson Chirinos, a little visit out to the mound as that foul tip got a piece. Jerry Davis, it looked like. Diekman with the advantage in the count at 1-2. In a spot now where if he can elevate that fastball and get it in a little bit, got a chance for the strikeout. Now we're set to go. Robinson back down behind the plate, ready to flash the signs out. Bases full of Mariners. The 1-2 pitch. Got him swinging. Looked like he went with a breaking ball instead, but either way, he got the punch out, which is exactly what you were looking for. They're now 2 away.
Yeah, both Cole and now Jake used that off-speed pitch very effectively against Lee. Kind of a sweeping slider down. Cole struck him out with a couple of cutters. He's up there looking for a fastball. He saw one fastball, but when the chips were down, he didn't.
And here's the ever dangerous Kyle Seager. Ever dangerous against left-handers or right-handers. Doesn't matter. In fact, he's had as many home runs against left-handers as most right-handed power hitters. First pitch in for a strike.
They had a note today. Since 2015, he's hit 18 home runs against left-handed pitchers. That's the most by a left-hand hitter.
Isn't that something?
Against a left-hand pitcher.
Yeah. 0-1 as Diekman sets. Out of play. Jake now with the advantage at 0-2. Seager singled his last time up. 1 for 3 today. That base hit last time for Seager snapped an 0 for 8 that he had been in. Got the bases full of Mariner teammates. Cruz, Cano, and Smith first, second, and third. 0-2 pitch. Hit him. Diekman hits Seager on an 0-2 pitch that forces in a run, and it makes it 6-2 Rangers. Now Seager with a painful RBI. Driving in his 42nd run of the year. And all of a sudden, that brings Chris Iannetta to the plate as the tying run. Iannetta 0 for 1 officially today. He's walked, been hit by a pitch, and grounded out. One ball, no strikes. Iannetta 0 for 1 against Diekman. Jake back to the plate. 2 balls, no strikes. One thing about Iannetta, you're not going to get him to expand his strike zone much.
Nope, he's got a good eye at the plate. And he's been hit with some power lately, too. Had a couple of home runs in his last 8 or 9 games.
Jake Diekman okays the sign, the 2-0 pitch. Way outside, 3 balls and no strikes. Diekman, after getting ahead of Kyle Seager 0-2, he then hit him with a fastball. That forced in the run. Now he's not been able to throw a fastball strike to Chris Iannetta. Iannetta batting 7th. Leonis Martin will follow. .3-0 pitch. Lost him. 6-3 as Cano trots down the line from third. And Doug Brocail, a quick visit out to the mound, see if he can get his left-hander back into the strike zone.
Yep, with that stuff, all you have to do is throw strikes with it. Make them put the ball in play if they can. But don't give them the bases.
A hit by pitch and the walk with the bases full. That puts the tying run on now. And Leonis Martin coming to the plate as the go-ahead run here in the 8th inning. Martin 1 for 3. His solo home run in the 5th. Got the Mariners on the board for the first time. Cruz, Seager, and Iannetta, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. And Diekman drops in the breaking ball for strike 1. A 6-3 Ranger lead. And they'll be careful up there. No balls, 2 strikes. Martin saw that hanger.
Yeah, you'd like to get them out as quick as you can so that when you get to the 9th inning, you don't put enough men on base so that Cruz and Cano get to hit again.
Right. Couldn't get him to swing at that breaking ball down and away. It's 1-2. This is the count. You really want to make your best pitch right here. Whatever the idea was, either to get him out with a breaking ball or a fastball, you want to make that on this 1-2. Down and away, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Further into account you let the hitter get after you get him 0-2, the more confidence the hitter has. Diekman looking in for the signs. Now the left-hander's ready. 2-2 pitch. One hopper out to Odor. On to first, and Jake Diekman able to shut the door, but a couple of runs across on 3 hits, a hit batter, and a bases-loaded walk. We're going to the 9th. Rangers 6, Mariners 3. bat here. The lead has been cut a little bit. It's now 6-3 Ranger advantage. Vidal Nuno is finished for the afternoon after 3 shutout innings of work, and he is replaced by Nick Vincent. Vincent appearing in his 28th ball game for Seattle. Vincent at 2.36 ERA, the league hitting 220 against him. Cut fastball specialist. Vincent, an acquisition from the San Diego Padres right at the tail end of spring training. Now he is on here to face Ian Desmond to start things off in the Ranger ninth. Desmond 2 for 4 with a couple of runs driven in. A pair of singles today that average up to 308. Oh, 2. See a little frustration. He had said, "What are you doing swinging at that pitch?"
Tough to get too frustrated with the ropes that he's laying out.
No kidding. Got him swinging. Vincent gets the strikeout, 1 away here in the Ranger ninth, and Nomar Mazara coming up. Well, one thing the Mariner pitchers have done this afternoon is ring up the strikeout. That is the 12th punch out by Mariner pitching this afternoon. Miley had 6 in his 5 innings. Vidal Nuno had 5 in his 3 innings.
Yeah, Vidal Nuno's line looks great. 3 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. But one of those 2 hits was a rope that drove in 2 runs.
Yeah. That weren't on his ledger. That's a big difference in the ball game right now.
Sure is.
Mazara 0 for 4. 1 ball and 1 strike. Nomar, maybe his last chance today to extend that hitting streak to 11 consecutive. Not on that one, though. Way up in the air to straightaway center. Leonis Martin camps underneath it. 2 gone. Well, Nick Vincent, a strikeout, a flyout. Now Rougned Odor, who has struck out 4 consecutive times, will step in. Rougned has been called out on strikes twice. He has gone down swinging twice. Vincent with strike 1. And Sam Dyson getting ready in that Ranger bullpen. As it stands right now, it is a save situation, a 3-run advantage. And Odor, it's a towering pop fly into shallow right. A quartet of Mariners out there.
4 people could have caught that one.
Yeah, Seth Smith takes care of it. Rangers gone in order. We're going to the bottom of the 9th inning. Sam Dyson and the Rangers trying to close out a 6-3 lead. Rangers had a 6-1 lead at one point, and then the Mariners cut it to 6-3. Now it's up to Sam Dyson as he enters the game for the 33rd time this year. 1-1, 9 saves in 10 opportunities. Dyson got his 9th save last night. Even though it wasn't one of his best efforts, he got the job done, not giving up a run in that 11th inning. He had to face 5 hitters, gave up a hit, also had a hit batter, but stranded 2, and the Rangers came away with a 2-1 win. Marichka Aoki, who led off the 11th against Dyson last night, will lead off the 9th as a pinch hitter.
Well, Marichka's hoping he doesn't get hit in the same spot he got hit yesterday. He got drilled right in the calf, it looked like. Stayed in the game, though. Didn't look like he was going to be able to, but he did.
If he gets hit in the same spot today, they're going to have to cart him off on a stretcher. Well, here's Aoki, a 240 average. Dyson coming down to the same area, and Aoki trying to get out of leave the premises quickly.
Oh, man.
1 ball and no strikes. Popped him up. This one's playable in foul territory. A Profar there. Out, number 1.
Hit that first one.
Aoki pitch hitting to start the 9th inning. He was hitting in the number 9 slot for Sean O'Malley. That takes the Mariners now back to the top of the order. Ketel Marte, who has a single in 4 trips, will stand in. Marte a 275 average as he faces Dyson. Sam starts him off with a breaking ball for strike 1. Line drive right field. That's going to be in for extra bases. Mazzara able to play the carom. Instead, it was fan interference. And reaching out and grabbing that ball. Well, Marte forced to stop at second. Umpire's ruling the fan interference would limit Marte to a double.
A high off-speed pitch that Marte was able to get out in front of, and hit down the line pretty well. You got 1 out. You got Smith, Cano, and Cruz. Love not to have to face Nelly Cruz, because if you do, it will be the tying run. That's a changeup out over the plate. Marte's out in front of it. He kind of reached for it, but still hit it solidly to right field.
The 1 on, 1 out. Here is Seth Smith, who came on last inning as a pinch hitter and single. Came around to score. Smith a 256 average. Ball 1. Rangers defend Smith around to the right on the infield. Outfield shades him slightly the opposite way. 1 ball and 1 strike. Seth Smith 0 for 1 in previous matchups with Sam Dyson. Drops that breaking ball in again.
There.
1 and 2.
You've seen the 97-mile-an-hour fastball. You've seen a slower breaking ball. Still has a changeup if he wants it. Chances are he's going to see that 98-mile-an-hour sinker. Saw the breaking ball and got an out with it.
1 hopper to Odor. On to first. That is out number 2. Marte on to third. And that'll bring up Robinson Cano. Well, Cano striding to the plate. 1 for 4 this afternoon. He had a single in that 9th inning, or 8th inning, I should say. Came around to score the 3rd run. Ketel Marte, who had a 1-out double, now at 3rd base. Sam Dyson trying to dispose of Cano so that he won't have to face Nelson Cruz as the tying run. Base hit to right field. That's going to be in for extra bases. Marte scores. Going into second, Cano. He
Look at this.
Out at the plate.
He ends the game.
Got him at second base.
What a throw. You got Nelly Cruz coming up as the tie-in run. And Cano gets thrown out at second from the foul pole in right field. Wow. What a way to end a ball game.
We're going to take a look at it. It looks like. No, they're not.
Did not see that one coming. What a throw by Mazzara. Well, Mazzara sees his streak end today, goes 0 for 5, and comes up with a game-saving throw to end it.
Now, we have seen Nomar Mazzara do just about everything on a baseball diamond you can think of, and that is a first.
Wow. Watch this throw. Couldn't even see him down in the corner. Comes up and throws a strike to second base to throw out Cano, who had to be shocked.
Well, the Rangers end up winning it 6-4 and do not have to face Nelson Cruz as the tying run in the bottom of the 9th inning. And this crowd at Safeco, 39,000 plus, filing out stunned. They can't believe what they just saw. Robinson Cano, for all intents and purposes, a stand-up double. And it would bring the tying run to the plate, but it was not to be. Nomar Mazzara said, not today and not on our watch. He fired a strike to Elvis Andrus for the out at second base. And let's go down to the field. John Radigan is standing by.
Yeah, with Elvis, who was on the receiving end of that Nomar Mazzara throw to end the game. What a way to end the game, Elvis.
It is, man. That's crazy, but amazing throw by Nomar. He hustled really quick to the ball, get to the ball quick, and he just give me a perfect throw.
Yeah, after Cano gets the hit out there, you're awfully glad to get him out so you don't have to face Nelly next.
Yeah, for sure. I think that team, is very dangerous, especially Nelson come up. So, amazing team game, team effort, and glad that we won another series.
Yeah, talk about the way you're hitting the ball. You were even your outs were hard hit today, and you had 3 hits. You had a couple of RBIs. You had to feel good at the plate.
Yeah, I feel better. Kind of. Battling a little bit, last a couple of weeks, but today, I think that working a lot with Mash and the hitting coach, feel a lot better, seeing the ball better, and I was glad that I was be able to get those RBIs.
You mentioned winning the series at 7 series in a row. I mean, it's really a good thing. You guys really believe in each other right now.
We do, man. I think that everybody different every day, and it's amazing. Pitching has been doing a terrific job. Bullpen has been amazing. So, we have to keep rolling.
Yeah, now you head on to Oakland and see if we can do some more damage down there.
Yeah, see what happens. Let's keep playing that way.
We appreciate it, Elvis. Good stuff. Elvis Andrus, guys, let's get it back up to you.
All right, John, thank you very much. Well, the Rangers win it 6-4 here at Safeco. We'll be back with more right after this on Fox Sports Southwest.